Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. We are continuing to follow breaking news tonight. Police have now identified a person of interest in a shooting inside a Richland Fred Meyer store. That shooting ended up killing one person. Another person is in the hospital.
We have been tracking this story all day long, so here's what we know so far. The first calls came into 911 at around 11:03 this morning. Initial reports were for people yelling and possible gunshots inside the store. At this point, we don't know what led up to the shooting. Police are only saying the suspect and victims had some sort of a conversation before the shots were fired.
As for the victims, they have not been identified yet. However, police say the surviving victim is a Fred Meyer employee. They were taken into surgery and at last check remain in critical condition.
Police released this surveillance photo of the man they're calling the suspect. They say he's a middle-aged white man, appears to be wearing a flannel shirt with a dark-colored vest. Police also released a picture of a white pickup. We're not seeing it right here, but it is on their Facebook page. Again, they say this man should be considered armed and dangerous.
Right now, investigators are saying they don't know if the suspect and the victims knew each other prior to this shooting. Just moments ago, we did hear from the interim police chief there in Richland.
Again, we want to assure our community that we're taking every measure to locate the suspect, and we will not rest until he's in custody.
All right, taking another look at the surveillance photos. No, this is video from the scene today. Police confirmed, again, they've identified the suspect. At this point, they're not releasing his name publicly. Again, he should be considered armed and dangerous. In the past hour, Fred Meyer also released a statement about the shooting. It reads in part, "The entire Fred Meyer family offers our thoughts, prayers, and support to all affected individuals and families during this difficult time."
Now, we do have crews on the way to that scene tonight in the Tri-Cities. We'll bring you the very latest just as soon as we have more information. In the meantime, here we want to get started with the Spokane City Council tonight. Councilmember Jonathan Bingle now proposing a new resolution to block vaccine mandates in the city. He says it's a move to protect medical freedom.
KREM 2's Ian Smay was listening to that meeting where the proposal was first read by Bingle. He joins us live in the newsroom with more on this one. Ian?
Yeah, that resolution proposed by Councilmember Jonathan Bingle would essentially block vaccine mandates in the city of Spokane. According to the wording of the resolution, that would prevent people in Spokane, including city employees, from being subjected to vaccine mandates from any level of government. This comes a week after the council voted 5-2 to formally censure Bingle over his refusal to wear a mask inside City Hall. Fellow District 1 Councilmember Michael Cathcart joined Bingle in voting against the censure. Now, that censure is just a formal denouncement of his actions. It did not strip Bingle of any powers. Bingle presented the resolution during a public safety committee meeting this afternoon. He says his goal is to prevent the loss of more city staff.
We could lose a lot of people, and so in a time when the city and certain departments specifically are incredibly understaffed, I would hate to see more committed and dedicated civil servants losing their job for any number of reasonable objections. And so for that reason, I bring this forward.
Bingle said the city's fire department recorded 509 overtime shifts last month, which is about double the number of overtime shifts from the previous January. He also said he was proposing this resolution in light of the United States Supreme Court decision to block President Joe Biden's vaccine mandate for large private businesses. Bingle said he has a sponsor and co-sponsor needed for the resolution. Cathcart said it likely wouldn't go to a vote until February 28th. Mark, Whitney.
Ian, thank you very much. Police in Spokane Valley are searching for a suspect in a deadly shooting. It happened last night on East Montgomery Avenue, just east of North Argonne Road. Deputies responded after receiving reports of arguing and gunshots. Witnesses also reported seeing a person running from the area. When deputies arrived, they found the man and tried to save his life, but they say he died at the scene. Police are still searching for the suspect tonight and ask anyone with any information on that shooting to call Crime Check at that number right there at the bottom of your screen.
The Washington Coalition for Police Accountability held a rally today in front of the Spokane County Courthouse. It's to protest efforts in Olympia to roll back police accountability laws that were enacted last year. The coalition was joined by families who have been impacted by police violence, as well as the Spokane community against racism. That included Debbie Novak. She is the mother of David Novak, who was shot and killed by police in January 2019. She said she was there to honor her son.
So I'm fighting for justice in the name of my son, David Novak, and also for all the other families. And there have been many, many of them who have contacted me with the same heartache and the same broken hearts where their loved one was taken too fast.
So they are specifically worried about 3 bills. 2 are House bills and a Senate bill. The House bills would modify previously passed bills that required police to attempt to de-escalate situations before using force and also set limits on when police can pursue a suspect. The Senate bill is aimed at creating some lower standards for police to detain a suspect. The coalition and its supporters want to stop those bills from passing. They say those accountability standards have led to fewer deaths at the hands of police.
The University of Idaho is naming the Kibbe Dome indoor track in honor of Lauren McCluskey, a Pullman native. Lauren was fatally shot outside her University of Utah dorm back in 2018 by a man that she dated before. Her parents, Matt and Jill McCluskey, donated $1 million to the University of Idaho. Lauren trained there with U of I coaches during high school. She was a Washington High School state champion in the high jump and set the Pullman High School 100-meter hurdles record.
We thought this was a wonderful way to make sure that Lauren's name and the ideas of the Lauren McCluskey Foundation can continue on as their athletes and other athletes compete on that track that's named after her now.
The money will be used to resurface the Kibbe Dome indoor track, and the university will include Lauren's name into the new track's design. The school says it'll be the largest logo ever integrated onto a track.
Seeing videos of it or watching it on the news is just not the same as being there and actually experiencing it. And last year we did kind of a virtual one. Definitely not the same thing at all. And so I think it'll be really great to have it back this year.
Well, tonight the Spokane Arena is going to be packed with high school students as Spirit Week games return.
The Spirit Games were canceled last year due to COVID, of course, and now students are ready to take to the stands and show why they deserve to take home the prize, whether that's a stinky sneaker or a rubber chicken named Chuck. Many area high school students have been eagerly waiting the return of the Spirit Games.
It's like being at your favorite concert of all time, and everyone is there for the same reason, and everyone is having the best time of their life.
So COVID-19 canceled last year's competitions, as we mentioned, and schools hosted what they could virtually. Well, now even with the games back, there is still a set of COVID rules. The Spokane Regional Health District says it's been working with the schools to make sure they can host the games safely. So safety measures include proof of full vaccination, or they want students to sign a document stating they've taken an at-home COVID test and that the results were negative. Masks must also be worn regardless of vaccination status.
And now KREM 2's Travis Green is at the Spokane Arena right this minute as students are starting to arrive. So Travis, I can imagine that the energy there is pretty excited.
Hey guys, yeah, I'd say that's pretty safe to say here. You know, Spirit Week finally returning here to Spokane Arena. We had a big crowd. The line was actually kind of all the way past where our camera's set up here. I'll give you a little bit of a look. A lot of orange and highlighter green, I guess that's what you'd call that color, shirts, because Lewis and Clark and Ferris, the two teams facing each other tonight. And I heard you talk about it, Mark. Chuck, the rubber chicken, up for grabs tonight in this rivalry. So obviously a lot of fun, and you can tell the students are very excited that this is back. They've been kind of scrambling in to get in line, and a lot have gone in right now because they're starting to let them in. Game time beginning at 5:30, the first tip, and then another game following that one for girls and boys between this rivalry matchup. So we'll have highlights of both those games for you tonight in the 10 and 11 o'clock news shows. So don't miss it. We'll recap tonight. Rubber chicken up for grabs. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Looking forward to it, Travis. Thank you very much. And, you know, as we take a look outside tonight, we just saw Travis was out there in the last little bit of sunshine out there. It really was a beautiful day. The sunset, as of today now, for the first time, is coming after 5 p.m. So another reason to be excited, right, Tom Sherry?
Absolutely. I mean, gosh, look at this. We're looking at a live picture up at Lookout Pass. Normally, you know, for the past 90 days, that would have been in the dark. So it's so fabulous to actually see daylight hours still up at Lookout Pass. And remember, we get something called civil twilight as well. So it actually stays light even past the sunset time for 15 to 20 minutes. That's a live look up at Snoqualmie Pass. As you can see, the road conditions in both directions are in great shape. That is beautiful. Another live shot behind the current temperature graphic. Right now we're at 41 degrees. It is breezy outside though, and that makes it feel a little cooler than that air temperature. Wind out of the southwest now at 14 miles per hour. Calm winds across most of North Idaho, and really we've got the windiest location except for Lewiston. right here in Spokane. Satellite and radar pictures showing mostly clear skies east of the Cascades. We'll look for an overnight low of 28. Could see some patchy fog set up, then a high tomorrow of 40 degrees under mostly to partly cloudy skies, depending on your location. So it'll be a little cooler tomorrow than what we saw today. And then for the weekend, pretty comfortable weather. Mid-40s after we see overnight lows in the upper 20s. I'll check the rest of that 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. And stay with us. We'll have more on the Inlanders Restaurant Week, which is taking place later this month, coming up after the break.